I spent 2 years in Iêmen, and I have to say that the last 2 months were very heavy. Daily and nightly airstrikes, violent confrontation on the ground, street fightings. We have decided to stay because we consider that the presence of the ICSC in this particular moment will be a very added value in terms of humanitarian response. First emergency for us was the delivering of emergency medical assistance for the war wounded. We received this assistance after 10 days of airstrikes, and then it was a big challenge to distribute it, and it was more complicated than we were expecting, because even if you have the green light from the different parties at the political level, at the field level it was a bit more difficult because the people on the ground in the checkpoint had some difficulty to accept that sometimes the assistance is going to my enemy, which is just some kilometers away. We were able to distribute all this emergency assistance to all the places in need. Today, most of the hospitals are running out of fuel, and this is the only way to be able to maintain the machine functioning. And here we speak about hundreds of patients at stake in case we cannot find a quick solution. Pumping stations are running out of fuel, and this is a big issue because here we put thousands, if it's not millions, of civilians at risk because they are not going to get water quickly. You can arrive to a bit humanitarian catastrophe. We have decided as well in something we could really have an added value to speak about conduct of hostilities with the different parties involved in the fightings, with the coalition, as well with the different parties involved in the ground confrontation. And here we speak mainly about the protection of the civil population. And during all this campaign, it was not civilians as such that were targeted, but some military targets have an impact. Here we speak about a munition warehouse, for example, when they are very close to a city or inside a city. If this depot explodes, it has a big impact on the civil population. We had different cases in Sana'a. One of them killed more than 90 civilians inside Sana'a, not for the targeting, but for the consequences of the explosion of this warehouse. When we visited the place, there were so many unexploded remnants of bomb, of explosive matters there, and it was a big risk for the children playing with it or being around. When you have a military target, you have to take into account what could be the consequences, like if we speak about the ammunition depot, for the population around. That you have to take into account all the different parameters to decide if you can attack this military target this way, or you need to use another way to reduce the impact. And you can use a big missile, but you can use ground troops to do something that will reduce as well the impact for the civilians. In terms of perspective, we know that ICSC will still have quite a lot of work in the months, if it's not in the years to come, for this still big instability.